Good evening, everyone. Hey, it is great to see you all. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season. I know most people that I know of had an extremely busy one, to be sure. We definitely have a few people in here already. Alexis, hey, good to see you. Chicken Noodle, welcome. Katie, welcome back. I am sorry to hear about your loss there. You can get through this, and actually getting back into your magical practice will probably help you out a lot. So, good luck to that one. And hey, if you need us, we're here. Jade, good to see you. Angela, welcome back. Violet Star, welcome. Let's see. Do. Luna, good to see you. Eris Van, well, hello. Anthony, good to see you. And Pyron, evening. Okay, we actually got quite a few people jumping in here tonight. That's always nice. Um, like I said, I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season. I know I did. Did a little bit of ritual work, spent time with the family, and it may be hard for a lot of you to believe, but I actually took time off. I actually took time, set it aside, and did nothing. I didn't do any work. Um, Hard to believe, but even I managed it. So I hope you guys got at least a couple rest days in. Lord knows I needed them. Um, but I am glad I got them. That's for sure. Because we have got a busy new year coming up. And as many of you know, we have the 6-month challenge at the start of the year, January 1st. Let's see, we got A12, good to see you. Oscar, blessings to you as well. No problem, Katie. Kind words are, well, the world needs more of them, if you ask me. So, Angela, did the dragons have to sit on you to help you settle down and do nothing, not have the worst time? Kinda, yeah, they really did. They really kind of did. It was kind of one of those where not only the dragons, but Odin and Frey and many of the entities I worked with basically all had to just get together and be like, look, you're being a dummy. Sit down, take some time, enjoy the holiday. Go over there, have a drink. Uh, so there was that. The theme for tonight's going to be new projects. We don't. I mean, Magical Coffee Hour is a little bit more laid back. We've not really done themes too often, but it's going to be more focused on new things um, tonight because, like I said, we do have this 6-month challenge starting on January 1st. Now, for any of those who don't know, this is actually going to be a group effort, and we're not talking like New Year, New Me horse crap. We don't want any of that. That's just crap. No, what we want to do is we want to focus this 6-month challenge on a skill set, a practice, self mastery, self empowerment. We're going to get very occulty with this and we are going to apply it. Now, there are people who are doing martial arts. They're going to pick up a skill of self defense. That's great. That is a self improvement skill. There are people who is dedicating it to the arcane senses. That's great. There's people who's dedicating it to their different path workings. That's great. Um, you're not limited to just an occult use. This is one time I think I might be taking on one of the simpler ones. Many of you know that I intend to use a lot of my magical studies, knowledge, and whatnot to work on getting back in shape and getting back down to my old training or fight weight. Um, Granted, that's a huge freaking number. That's a huge number um, that I got to drop. But I do believe that I can do that, especially using the skill set I have. So that's something I'm going to be applying to me. But this is something we're doing as a group effort. So if you're interested in joining us and you have an idea of what you'd like to do, go to the About section. We have a link there that says Discord. Click that, pop in, join the Discord. Let myself or one of the admins know what it is that you want to do. We will get you added to the challenge. We have a text chat room where we'll be talking and updating and all that, um, sharing our successes, and when we trip and fall in the mud, we'll be sharing that too. Failure is not the end. Remember, a mistake, falling down, that's not failure. Until you give up, you really haven't failed. And it's going to be a 6 month. We're going to see how far each of us can progress toward our goal in that 6 months. Now, for everyone who participates actively and is constantly, sharing the updates and encouraging others, here's the big kicker. We will be doing prize drawings at the end of the 6 months. Yes, prize drawings. Myself and the admin in the Discord, we do not qualify for prizes. So you don't have to worry about one of us getting drawn for a prize. That would just be crappy. No. So only non-Discord admin can qualify for prizes, but you do actually have to be an active participant. You can't pop in, say hi, and maybe say hi 4 weeks later. You do need to be active fairly regularly throughout the 6 month challenge. But that is one of the big things we've got going on, and I am amazed at how many people are so excited about this. I really can't even remember how it just came to me one day to do this, but I think it's going to be very helpful for a lot of us. Now, one person did ask me why I'm so picky about how I phrase it and that it's not a new year, new me. Instead, I focus more on the self-mastery. Here's why. New year, new me means that you take every lesson, every mistake, everything from that day back, and you toss it. Didn't happen. If it didn't happen, you didn't learn nothing. If you didn't learn nothing, you have no motivation for actual mastery and improvement. That's the wrong attitude, because you have nothing to strive for. There's no discipline. There's no mastery if you're just hitting the reset and the mulligan button. You know what I mean? So yes, we are not doing the new year, new me, because it's not a new year and a new Drake. I am Drake. I am the asshole I was this year. I'll probably be the same asshole next year, but I am still going to be working on self-mastery and empowerment and improvement. Am I perfect? Lord, no, I ain't. We all know that. But I must know who I am before I can improve. Think about that. Okay? Let's see here. PJ, hey, glad you could make it. You didn't oversleep. Saeed, hey, hope you had a good holiday as well. I think my 6 month challenge will be to return to my dragon path and to pass my probationary period at work. Hey, Katie, that's some good stuff right there. Good luck to you. Definitely good luck to you. Is it normal from astral travel to see different doors and branches into the world? When you're doing astral travel, the astral realm actually will shape itself around you very drastically in your visualization. So in the way you journey from realm to realm can actually differ, and actually a hallway full of doors is actually a very, very common method of understanding that transference. So that is actually very common and pretty normal. Yes. So we got that. For those who asked, yes, I did. I put the tarot class on hold so I could take time with my family for Yule and Christmas. I did. I really did. But we are very close to getting it wrapped up and ready. Of course, the channel members and the Patreon members, you all will get the first word and announcement of when it's going to go live. You guys will get early access to it. That's for your support of the channel and the work we do. That's one of the things I think it's tier 2 or tier 3. You guys get that. So keep a lookout for your messages, because hopefully we'll be seeing that in the next couple of weeks for you all. From there, I don't know exactly how soon after the Patreon and YouTube membership members will release. Um, what I'm thinking to do for this particular class is release to Patreon and YouTube channel members on a Friday, give the whole weekend for you all to play with it, have some fun, and enjoy it, and then on Monday go public for everybody. That's what I'm thinking. But do keep an eye out on that. Okay, big year ahead. Big year ahead. You all also know I'm getting ready to kick off a massive Norse path working for myself, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you some how that goes. I am fully aware that this path working is eventually going to end up as a, well, I originally thought it was going to end up as a course, but with the sheer mass of things that the entities have me wanting to path work this year, I may have to make it two courses. I don't know. But that's going to be one of the fun things to see is how this pans out in the long run throughout this year. I've got everything cleaned up and ready to go. In fact, if you kind of look through my backdrop here, you can already see I got my rune circle up. I've been doing a little plucking and planning, so that's all good. See what we got here. Angela, you can do it. Yes, Katie can definitely do it. I believe in that for sure. Angela is going to be using her astral sanctum daily, no matter. That is a great one, Angela. That really is. Oscar, get that astral sanctum built up, man. It is an amazing tool. It really is. It's one of the best tools next to your journal. I actually put the journal above the sanctum for data collection, but the sanctum is right there with it. Really is. Anubis, hey man, been a while. Good to see you. Jason, what's Discord? Discord is kind of a, how do I explain this? It's an app. I do it on my computer. Some people have it on their phone. I can't use my phone. Y'all know I got these big old bratwurst hands, and my phone's laying around here somewhere. So you could imagine me trying to navigate on my phone here. Look at that. It just does not work. I push one thing, I push like 5 buttons. But some people, my daughter included, and my wife, they can just navigate that thing like it ain't nobody's business. But it's kind of a social group app. We're Working Dragon Mystic. We have our own Discord server. You can get in there and like an old school chat room, chat, ask questions, hang out with people. It does do some voice services. I know at Working Dragon Mystic we do have a voice channel. Myself and many of the admin often drop down there. But we're using it as a place for the Working Dragon Mystic community to gather and ask questions in a bit more private setting for things that they may not be super comfortable asking on YouTube. And just be able to help out each other. And it's a lot easier because YouTube don't show me all the comments you all leave. I wish they did, but they don't. And I understand that because, when channels get bigger, you just get completely blasted with notifications. So I understand it. But this does allow me and the admin to better attempt to ask questions and help out. But it's just a little casual place to get together and kind of bring the community together. And it comes in handy anytime we're doing something like this 6-month challenge because it gives us a place we can all get together and say, this is where we're going to do it. So, yes, by all means. Now, to qualify for the prizes, you will have to participate in the Discord thing. Discord's free, by the way. But if you want to take part in the 6-month challenge and not really be in it for a prize, by all means, go right ahead, jump in there, throw your iron in the fire, and keep on up with it. Many of you have told me what your goals are here. I do encourage you to keep me updated here in the live chats if you want to, because, yeah, it'll be great. I will personally be sharing the spell work, the methodologies, everything I'm doing to meet my goals. I'm going to be sharing that in the Discord as well. So, all those kinds of little things. I'm going to be sharing what I'm doing. I'll be sharing the ups, the downs, the whole shebang. So, we'll see how it goes. Let's see. And I suck at computers, so me trying to describe something computery is kind of funny, but yeah. Also, give us a thumbs up if you actually do like the channel and what we're doing here and having these occult conversations and the videos and everything, and enjoy the live chats in the community. Give us the thumbs up. It helps us out. Lets YouTube know you actually like what we're doing. That way, more people who are seeking this information can find it. So, yeah, let's get the thumbs up there equal to how many people's actually sitting here watching us, or some just listening to me. I've heard my southern accent can be relaxing. I think Peachy, I make her more nervous than relax her, but that's okay. Anubis, did I finish the Fae Pathworking? Actually, no. Both the Fae Queens put me on hold for the Norse one. I was a little disappointed by that. I won't lie. That was a little bit sad, but I understand why. We sat down, we talked it through, and this is something that's going to really help me out specifically. And it's also going to give me time to take the Fae Path workings that I've done, kind of absorb the information from them, and then I am going to have to do a secondary trip through them to fully get it ready before I can publish anyway. But yeah, I mean, when you're working with the Fae Queens kind of get the final say. That's just the way that goes. But yeah, you've not been around for a while, so yeah, this is going to be putting the Fae on hold by order of the Fae Queens, interestingly enough. See, do we have to regularly or periodically charge enchanted item or objects that we tie a specific spell or specific function so that they can work or work better? That's a tricky one. In general, especially if you're tying a spell to it, you need to charge it. If you are tying a spell to a sigil, an object, or something, it needs to be charged. Any magical item has to have an energy source somehow, some way. Pretty simple. And much like any battery, if it's not getting a constant feed of energy in some fashion, that energy will bleed out, which makes sense. A lot of your ritual tools, you don't need to necessarily recharge them because energy is passing through them every time you're working with them, and that natural energy passing is also keeping them functional, but they're not tied to a specific spell either usually. But yeah, wards, any of my wards, sigil work, any of that, I do. I recharge those regularly. Let's see, Jason, that's what I'm looking for. I'm sick. Boy, you ain't the only one sick of Facebook. You really ain't. They've given me nothing but headaches with the Working Dragon Mystic sites. There's days I can't even get on there and click the admin things, and I'm freaking on the site. So I get you. Let's see. GK, I like the channel in your. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Mugs up to you. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I do hope that I can help a few people. Can I give you advice or rules to follow in the astral? Well, the astral itself, it's so malleable, it's a little difficult. Rules in the general, no. you don't really fall into rules until you enter into specific planes. But advice, I would say, um, take the time to consider what you see. Take the time to be cautious. Don't just charge in randomly. If you do encounter an entity of any kind, attempt to be respectful to it. Also, make sure you're maintaining your shields and likes, grounding and shielding anytime you're doing astral work. And me personally, I do not recommend astral work while sleeping. I know a lot of people do, but I'm not a big fan of it. First off, it limits you strictly within dream realm astral work, which is more limited. And the dream realm itself is very, very unpredictable, which also skews results and requires a whole massive amount of interpretation on top of the normal interpretation. So I'm not a big fan of that. If you like it, more power to you. It's not my cup of tea. I'm more of I don't really do workings while asleep because I love to just, maintain that control aspect for the data. But those are the biggest advices I can give. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, an astral sanctum is essentially a little pocket plane that you yourself create within the astral, and yeah, it is your plane. And yeah, you can go there and you can do magic and ritual work. Dragon of the West asks, how do I cast a successful spell? Well, interestingly enough, when you're casting a spell, um, there's different components of a spell and different methodologies depending on traditions, but none of that's going to matter. You can have the words, you can have the ingredients. I mean, you can have a step by step script written out for you, and you can do everything it says on that script. It won't do jack shit. And here's why: the spell is not in the ingredients, the spell is not in the words, the spell is not in any liquid or potion or concoction or kit that the internet may sell you. A spell is literally in intent and direction. You have to be able to harness up the energy or the emotion. Usually, emotions are the easier thing to harness, and that's why people like to use emotions when doing spell. They like to feel the emotions of the manifestation. And you want to see and feel your goal. Whatever it is you're trying to manifest, you want to see you already having it. And you want to raise and you want to feel as much energy possible as that. And you want to direct it toward that. Now, when we make a sigil, when we light a candle spell, all we're doing is using this as a physical focus in which we're to represent the very goal we're doing to direct the energy at. That gives us something physical to direct it at. Um, Now, once you have that energy and you have directed that energy, here's the hard part. First off, you can't have doubt. You're not going to be able to direct the energy. You're not going to be able to raise the energy if you're doubting yourself from the get go. So that's why a lot of these people who go in with absolute doubt and they're sure spell work don't work, but they're going to try it just to prove us wrong, their spells never work. They never had the ability to direct the energy or the intent. And well, ironically, their intent did happen because their intent was to prove someone wrong that it wouldn't work, and it didn't work. So you can't doubt it. But then the hardest one, and I did a whole video on this, you have to be able to let it go. And that means let it go. You can't sit there and think about it. You can't sit there and dwell on it. You can't sit there and worry about it. You have to let it manifest. And it can take time to manifest, especially when you're first starting. It's not like, oh, I got it. I really wish it worked that quick. I really do. But more often than not, it does not. Even for a seasoned guy like myself, it can take a few days, depending on what I'm doing. Some things are easier because the smaller the manifestation, the easier and the quicker it can manifest. The larger can take time. This day and age, I actually focus on my spell work on larger things, so I do project several months because I'm doing much larger workings at this point in my life. But in the times where I randomly do need something small unexpectedly, I usually get results within 2 or 3 days. Now, back when I started, no. I think the shortest time when I first started would have been like 3 to 4 weeks when I first started, even for tiny things. And that's one of the reasons a journal is so magnificent. You can actually track the workings you're doing. You can track how often you're dwelling on it. You can track when the thing manifests, and also when you write it down, it's easier not to think about it. So often we don't want to forget about something that we constantly think about it all the time. And for spell work, that's the worst thing you can do, because if you're sitting there dwelling on it, you're not releasing the energy. And if you don't release the energy, it can't do nothing. That's like saying, I am going to buy a bottle of weed killer to kill the weeds in my driveway. You buy the weed killer, you set it in the garage, it sits there. The weeds will continue to grow, because guess what? The weed killer does nothing in the garage in the container. You have to use it, you have to apply it, you have to put it on the weeds. You have to release it. Spell energy is the same way. If you don't release it, it won't do anything. How do I approach a deity I haven't approached in months? Is that supposed to be months? If it's months, you just same way you'd approach a friend. You go up and say, "Hi, been a while. How you doing?" Be respectful. Stop putting deities up on pedestals and treat them like individuals that you would treat with respect and honor, the same way you would treat a human being, I hope, a friend and a loved one. And you'll find it's very, very easy. I've gone years without speaking to entities, and then I realized I hadn't talked to them, and I pop in to say hi. Yeah, well, both the time we're aware of it, but there's no hard feelings. They had their thing, I had my thing. Just like I got friends. Actually, there was a guy I ain't spoke to in, I guess it's been 8 years. I recently spoke to. Him and I picked up right where it was. Good guy. Oh crap! It jumped. Okay, we got quite few people in here tonight. That's pretty awesome. Do remember we do have the super chats. Many of you keep saying I need to remind y'all more about this, and I keep forgetting. And I apologize. I'm going to try and get better at it. We do have the super chats. Small little donation thing makes it flash up. So if you have a really important question and I'm missing it due to activities and whatnot, you can do that, and it'll flash it real big on the screen. Make sure I don't miss it. Okay. And all super chats do get asked as long as they're YouTube appropriate. Okay. Okay, and we jumped, so let's see if I can find roughly where I was. See, Jason, I believe I can learn a lot more by listening to you. Oh, Jason, thank you. Appreciate that, mate. If you are a beginner, we do have a Magical Basics playlist full of stuff that can really help you out there. And we do have actually a playlist that I think we have a spells playlist. If not, we should. Otherwise, the spells are going to be in the Magical Basics playlist. See, Violet Star unplugged in. Very helpful. I have been all over the place with my learning like a cosmic gnat on 80. Oh, so I hit and miss. I struggle just to be at peace. And that is one of the harder things. It is. And I do recommend meditation. It can really help with that. It helps you with the focus and the discipline. That's one of the reasons I love path working. If you focus in on a path working, even though there's a lot of things, all those things are still focused into the same goal. Like the Dragon Magic 101 course, there's a lot of different things happening in that course, but you have a direction, and all those things are building toward the same goal. Same thing with 102. And of course, 103 and 104 is going to follow that. Any of our courses are built along a path working concept. And that really does help to focus. And there is actually something to be truly said for being able to focus on your studies. Many of us do get a bit crazy and try to learn everything at once, and you're not absorbing anything. You're not retaining. So you can actually overread and If you're reading too much and you can't take it in, it's not going to do you no good. And you're actually going to make it harder for you to learn. It's going to take you longer to get to any form of adept practice that way. Slow down. I know it sounds crazy, but slow down, focus, and you'll make faster progress. Stuart, season's greetings. May the magic bring smiles and all to all the spiritual worlds. Keep making your adventures. Yep. Hey, Stuart, appreciate it. Appreciate it. You don't have to refer to me as Master Drake, mate. That, to be honest, you're gonna make my bald head blush here, mate. But I appreciate the well wishes. Same to you. Let's see. Oh, we jumped again. Man, I am way behind today. Can you suggest where to go for complete newbies, books, websites? I'm fascinated by this stuff more. Scared. Okay, so first off, I have to recommend my channel, GK, when it comes to complete newbies. Check out our Magickal Basics playlist. We literally do cover through the basics, and we do so in a way that's we don't follow a specific tradition or anything. It's the nuts and bolts, and it can be functioned with any path that you so choose later. That would be my first recommendation, especially for free. Now, if you're wanting to invest money in books, the Temple of Witchcraft series by Christopher Pinzack, I love that series. He does a great job of giving a wide overview of different styles of magics, traditions, theories, history, and all that. And that's one of the reasons, if you go below any of my videos, you should see all four of those books linked below my videos, because they do a fantastic job of laying a reasonably solid foundation for the beginner. And we jumped again. Where am I? See, if outside of one of Gordon Winefield's sigils on Magickal Attack to have peace with my neighbor. Hopefully it came out good. Peace with the neighbor is always a good thing. Let's see. Whoa! Ah! Crap, it jumped again! Let's see. Jade Morningstar at Anubis. Dragon magic and draconian magic is different. Yes, they are. I actually did a video on the differences between those two, Anubis. They are drastically different. That's one of the reasons I don't use the term draconic magic or draconian magic. I always say dragon magic, is I am doing the best I can to help with that differentiation, because yes, draconian magic and draconic is pretty different. Let's see. Draconic path is not a singular path either. So dragon magic is specifically magic where you're working with dragons. You don't worship them as gods. You work with them as allies, and you work through the 9 elements and all those different concepts in dragon magic and work specifically with them. Now, from dragon magic, you can easily move into other paths because dragons will work with anything. In draconian magic, it uses dragons and serpents as symbols, not literals. And they usually work with darker entities or the Clifothic tree in many cases, using the draconic symbolism, not dragons quite literally. So they are drastically different. Let's see. And Anthony, thank you for the super chat, mate. Thank you very much. That's a nice one. Tell me about the real Thor, please. Okay, the real Thor, first off, he is amazing. He's a great guy. He is a lot of fun to sit and hang out with and talk to. For these people who are expecting the chiseled Chris Hemsworth kind of look, no, no. Thor is not like a six-pack ab having kind of guy. Thor loves to eat. Thor loves to drink. Thor loves hard work, and he encourages these very things. So if you want to think of Thor's physique, look up more strongman competitions where they kind of have the barreled chest look. A lot of people actually think these guys look fat. Yeah, okay. Let's see. They're not fat; they are muscle, but they do have that barreled body to them because they are actually have more mechanical muscle than visual aesthetic muscle. There is a difference. So look at like those strong men. There's a lot of people actually who got really upset with. Now, many of you know I don't like video game storylines because they really do not get the mythology well, and they don't. So, God of War, for example, they did a Norse one. The mythology on it is just complete shit. But as a game, it was a good game. Never use movies and video games for your mythological research, please. That's why most people don't understand Norse mythology. They think Marvel tells them Norse mythology. Marvel don't know Norse mythology either. But one thing I was impressed about in the sequel for that game, they released an image of Thor. They have his belt, they have his gauntlets, they have his hammer, they have his red hair. Yes, Thor's red head. He ain't no blonde. He has that fiery red, just unkept hair. And he's a bigger looking guy. He is round. He has that barrel chest that you would expect on somebody who is strong, who does eat, and who spends a lot of time. Where I come from, we used to call it a farmer's body because they were strong, they were healthy, they weren't chiseled with six packs, but they had that barrel chest from physical work. He does have a temper. He does. He loves to play tricks on people. Not quite on Loki or Odin's level, but you do have to remember he traveled and was friends with Odin and is friends with Odin and Loki. So you have to respect that to some extent too. He he's not a guy you want to complain to about something being too hard, not fair, because he is definitely a kind of blue collar god. He believes if you work for it, you should earn it, and if you earn it, you should keep it. Um, and he doesn't believe in. He's not a kind of guy that believes in handouts. Now, there's a difference in helping someone because he is a very much a god of protection and help. There's even stories of Thor himself plowing frozen fields for farmers so that they can continue to work the farm. So he gives them a helping hand to keep them going. He didn't just give them the results. So he does understand those differences, but he is a fantastic individual to work with. In fact, he's one of the entities I plan on working with in order to get back to my training weight. But even just to sit and talk to hear his stories, he's a lot of fun. We've all met that individual that no matter what, they're just that jovial, good individual that you could sit down and have a cup of coffee or a beer with and laugh all night long. That's really kind of Thor. It really is. But when it's time to work, oh, you better get ready. Don't get lazy on Thor because he'll thunk you in the head. He loves some good hard work. Would you always, Stuart, would you always recommend not being scared or worked up in ritual conjuration? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Would you say fear kills the connection? Um, Fear can actually be used to power a ritual. Fear is not the same as doubt. In fact, I would say there's a lot of people who will approach many rituals with an amount of fear, or even just the amount of being nervous. It doesn't kill the ritual. That emotional energy can actually feed the ritual and make it stronger. Doubt is what you got to avoid. Um, the occult practice, in and of itself, is a journey into the unknown. Humans are naturally fearful of the unknown. And it is that pursuit into the unknown, that pursuit of knowledge, um, that really drives us. It's almost the thrill of the adventure, the thrill of overcoming that fear for a lot of people. Jason, if you go check out the Dragon Magic playlist, you will see two different videos I did on Draconic Wicca and Draconic Magic and Dragon Magic that can help explain those in detail for you, mate. Oh, Anubis got it. My bad. Let's see. Variables are skills. The one dragon of power and completeness. The test is the journey, building you inside physically and psychologically. Grow and develop. Polish your inner rare gem, emerald, or diamond. Let's see. Fear would very much help in protection. You got to understand, fear is an emotional response, and any emotion can be used. It really can. Emotions generate natural energy quite well. And that's again one of the reasons why emotions in magic can be so powerful. If you don't have the ability to visualize or just to feel energy itself, you're human. You can feel an emotion of some kind. So generating the emotion allows you to generate the energy. It's kind of an energy hack. But if you can feel energy and emotions, now you can actually start generating energy on two levels. So hope that helps a little. But yeah, fear is actually pretty good for protection. It does kind of lean naturally into that. You do have to remember any emotion that you're using to raise energy, though, does not define the energy. It is your intent and your direction that defines the energy, not the energy in and of itself. Some energy is easier to direct because it's already closer, but with focus and intent, you can easily shape any energy current into any goal you want. Um, well, Hecate is not a dragon. Hecate is a goddess, drastically different. Um, but as far as the goddess Hecate, I've enjoyed working with her when I did. As I mentioned before, I've gone to a couple of those Hecate sickle festivals, which some of the rituals during those festivals were amazing. Um, she's not a goddess I work with regularly, but I love to work with her when I do get the chance. Valen, hey, welcome. Yep, you did make it. We got about 20 more minutes before they start throwing clocks at me. Ian, you just turned 48. Am I too old to start working with the runes and Norse gods? No, 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 not at all. Not at all, Ian. Actually, welcome, because we are going to be doing a bit more Norse content as I do my Norse path working. And no, you are not. I actually know an individual who started working with Odin and Thor when he was 60 and started studying the runes and had a very, very productive and abundant life and practice, and still is. Still is. He's still going strong. So no, 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 no. You are not too old to start. Yeah, that is kind of one of the things. I will say fear is an obstacle for a lot of people because you can't embark on a journey because the journey is going to be unique to us all. It's going to be different in some way. There's no way I can sit here and tell you this is what's going to happen. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I can't do it. That's the entire concept of gnosis. Gnosis is a personal thing. Um, so everyone's path is going to be personal, and we will all face difficulties. We're supposed to. It's not supposed to be sunshine and rainbows. You can't grow and develop through sunshine and rainbows. You have to be challenged. You have to face things. It's going to be hard. Some paths, a lot more harsh, but all paths will challenge you, will push you. And because of that, yes, you're going to be uncomfortable. Yes, there will be a point you're afraid. But yes, you have to step through that and pursue your goal of self mastery. And you have to pursue it in an almost fearless way. Now, you can pursue it with caution and intelligence and logic to make it as smooth as possible. But as smooth as possible could still be like slipping down a slip and slide made of sandpaper. It really can. It can get rough. Spiritual awakenings are not fun, they are hell. um, you learn the most when you are going through the shit. That's kind of the general gist of it. However, the more you learn, the more you know, the more tools you have that when the shit show hits you in order to teach you and help you develop, you can get through it quicker and easier because you have more tools at your disposal. So as you learn, the stronger or more in tune you get, the more the universe starts to throw at you, the faster you grow, but you're constantly having to use the skill sets and the tools that you do have. I hope that makes some kind of sense. Tier, dragons are not gods and goddesses in any shape, form, or fashion. In fact, they find the term to be quite insulting. Yes, Hecate can breathe fire, but there's a lot of entities that breathe fire that have no relationship to dragons at all. Hecate is one of the entities that is sometimes linked up with dragon symbolism, but dragon symbolism does not a true dragon make. Dragon of the West. Have I worked with the Slavic god Vel? The name sounds familiar, but I can't. It's not. Sounds very familiar, but I'm not recalling it right now. Dragon of the West, so I can't say for sure on that one. My apologies. Let's see, Angela. I tend to hold an unlit candle in moments of high emotion. Then, if I want to release it, I burn the candle or save the candle for later working where the energy might work better. Hey, that's a really cool idea, Angela. Yeah, pushing that energy into a candle, even if you don't have a working, and then saving it, kind of cataloging what energy you pushed into it. That's pretty smart. I like that. You mind if I do a video on that? I'm going to run some tests. I like that. That is pretty good. That is good, Angela. Mugs up on that idea. Let's see. Any suggestions for a statue as a magical protector? Any statue you like. Here's the thing: you go out and buy it. A statue is a statue is a statue. All statues are statues. I don't care what you make them out of. I don't care what you make them look like. A statue is a statue. It's a rock. It's a piece of metal. And unless you bless it, consecrate it, or empower it, or charge it, it's just a rock. So if you want a statue style protector, you can easily just go out and get you a nice rock, put it on your front porch, empower that, boom, you have a protector. It really is that simple. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on these fancy metaphysical statues to have a protector. And what really pisses me off is seeing the people who sell these statues. They like you go to Amazon, you can find a statue $30, and then you go to an occult site, they sell it for $200, and telling you it'll protect your house. Some, if you're lucky, will be enchanted, but the enchantment fades, and they don't tell you anything about how to re-empower it. Whereas, yeah, you could just do it yourself for a whole lot cheaper. The statue itself is not what does the protection. It is the empowerment of the object itself. Statues are just statues. Even if it's of a god, it is still just a rock until you do a ritual with it. And even then, it's only a focus of the ritual. You can allow the entity it represents to drop in. It doesn't live there permanently. It just drops in and uses it as kind of a link to your abode, which is fine and dandy. But ultimately, it has no power in and of itself, if that makes sense. Oh, we jumped again. Crap. Do I know of a world in the astral realm that looks futuristic / cyberpunk? If so, can you tell me about it? I have encountered one that fits that. As far as its name, I do not know. But it does have a very futuristic kind of cyberpunky feel to it. But well, no, hold on. No, rewind. I misspoke. It has more of a steampunkish feel to it, kind of a futuristic steampunk, more than cyberpunk. So yeah, no, misspoke on that. Sorry, Oscar. But still don't know the name of it. What does maintain the balance in Magick mean? Okay. Well, different traditions take this differently, Chicken Noodle, but I'm going to have to answer it from a dragon's perspective. That is where and this actually goes for Norse because both of those are my primaries, so those tend to be the areas I understand balance from. But dragon magic practitioners, balance is it's important. We focus on it drastically. But more importantly, dragons teach on what's called dynamic balance. So balance is knowing and understanding that life is always doing this. Okay. So dynamic balance means you're constantly daily having to work to balance your life. Okay. There's always something that's going to tip and tick, and you're going to have to do a little over here or a little over here. And you're constantly having to move with this ebb and flow, this shift, this change of life that happens in order to balance it. And maintaining that balance puts you in this kind of a sweet spot where you can truly master yourself, your life, and what you manifest in it. And when you master yourself and your life or gain control and understanding of the balance on yourself, you can begin to move that understanding further out. And it gives you insights and understanding on how you can work with the balance to maintain it on a much larger scale. Dragons, for example, maintain balance on a multiversal scale. But for us, it's really about understanding, there is good days, there's bad days, there's happy days, there's sad days. And then there's days that, you just threw all the emotions in the blender and hit frappe. But like mixing a good cocktail, it's balancing out what's there. It's balancing that out and applying that balance in a way that keeps it pleasant, keeps it functional. It's we could probably do a whole series talking about balance. It is a huge thing. And in a lot of ways, it's going to mean a lot of different things to different people. Let's see here. Hope that helps a little bit. Yeah, I'll definitely. I'm going to do some tests on that, Angela, and I'm going to add that to a future video list. I really am because I love this idea. I don't know why it's never. It's amazing. It seems such a simple and obvious ideal. I love it. Mugs up to you, Angela.
See, so I found a real Norse dude on YouTube today called Bjorn. Man, was he fun to listen to. He says the tribes are gathering. I've not personally, well, I've seen someone with that name. I don't know if it's the same guy, though. I ain't watched his channel in a while. Hecate was not a dragon at any point in her existence. Yes, she can shapeshift, and yes, she can take the form of a dragon, same as Lucifer. But neither of them are what is referred to as true dragons. Dragons don't shapeshift into dragons, they are dragons. And they get real picky when it comes to entities claiming to be true dragons that aren't. I've actually seen them rip gods apart for such blasphemy, as they would put it. And oh, hold on, getting ready to close up here, and somebody done dropped me a super chat in there. Alexis, I want to work with dragons now. What is a good way to get into the practice? Can they help in your other crafts? Okay, first off, yes, they can help in your crafts. They are great with artistic crafts and stuff like that. They love them. Best way to get into dragon magic, and there's several people here who's probably going to back me on this. I would actually go to workingdragonmystic.com, click online courses, find Dragon Magic 101. That class has more in that one class than you'll find in any number of books that I can find out there. Seriously. And it will completely get you started in dragon magic. It's a complete path working, goes into a lot of detail. And if you want to go further after that class, we do have Dragon Magic 102 already available. But yeah, that would actually be the easiest, most direct route. And it's actually cheaper than trying to find books on the subject. Quite a bit, actually. Your next option would be to check out the Dragon Magic playlist here on the channel. We have a lot of information for you to get to look into to see if Dragon Magic is right for you, gives you some of the rituals to try out, get you a little head start. But it sounds to me like you already know this is a path you want to take. And if you already know that, then honestly, the most efficient way would be to go ahead and grab Dragon Magic 101. When doing a spell, it is best to see it as if it's already manifested. Yes, because that's the result. You shouldn't think about how it's going to manifest or anything. You should see it already manifested. After the spell's done, you shouldn't think about it. Because if you're dwelling on it and thinking about it, you're not releasing the energy, and you're going to slow it down or completely ground it and stop it from manifesting altogether. Angela, I'll do my best to get it out when I can. I got to do some testing. Can't just, go at half-assed. But I am going to do that. I'm going to put that in my notes right after the stream here, because that is a fantastic idea. I love it. See, that's one of the reasons I love doing what I do. You all throw things at me, and it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, there's always so many neat little creative things that different practitioners think of that really are great. Let's see. Stuart, do you think how we perceive spirit entities wishing to communicate with us has much to do with how the spirits can use our mind, our memories, and our imaginations? Most entities will attempt to utilize what you already know in order to best communicate with you as easy as possible, especially starting out. However, as you progress into adepthood, they start showing you more and more of them as they are, not as you may think they are, because now you have the skills and the abilities to see beyond yourself. And that's one of the biggest hangups for a lot of practitioners. We get stuck on us. We get stuck on how we think it should be. So yeah, they will utilize those pathways to reach out and help us to grow. But once we grow to a certain point, then they stop. Then it's you will either see the truth or you will be blind. Nubis, I'm definitely going to go ahead and pick up Dragon Magic 102 tomorrow. Hey man, cool. Glad to hear it. I know you've been working on 101 for a while, so that's good to hear. Angela, I actually use anxiety energy candles for protection. That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, all right. And Jade is throwing clocks at me. Yes, here we are. It is the 1 hour mark. Okay, everyone. I do believe we will be after New Year's. Yes, the next live stream will be January 2nd. Can you believe that? I will be seeing you all in 2022. Which means we'll be into the 6-month challenge by then. It'll be kicking off. If you haven't already, join the Discord. Jump in. Let us know what your challenge will be so we can get you set up. So if you are wanting to have a shot at the prize drawings at the end of the 6 months, you can. Everybody, this has been a wonderful, wonderful stream. Great way to end the year for me. This has been a great year for me and my family. And I honestly have to say, one of the reasons this has been such a fantastic year is so many of the viewers here and you all willing to share your successes and some of the hard times that you've had. You know, you come into the community seeking help. And it's really been inspiring to watch how not just me answering the questions, but watching you all reach out and help each other. That to me is amazing. I am glad an old redneck like me could inspire people to gather and help each other. And I am thankful to be able to just share what I have over the time I've had this channel and really get to see so many people improving their lives. That to me is the ultimate reward right there. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go next year. So I'm going to sign off with this last little tidbit. We are over 9K. I think we're at 9,300 and something. We are pushing 10K, people. So share the channel, share the videos. Anyone you think might be interested in this, let's hit that 10K. My birthday, February 18th. Yep, I get older on that day. I'll complete another trip around the sun. Let's see if we can't hit 10K before then. What do you say? All right, everyone, you have a fantastic week. If you're doing anything for New Year's, stay safe, but have fun. And I'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.